Hey everybody, Tamara Tamu here, bringing you another spicy episode of Unleashed Alchemy. Where on this channel, we talk about how you embrace, how you can embrace your I am power, that Christ consciousness, infinite intelligence that is in you, that you are not, never have been separate from, and how you can harness that power to bring the unseen into the seen, how you can function optimally in your spiritual gifts with full confidence and full spiritual freedom. When you have spiritual freedom, of course, it is going to positively affect your outer world. So welcome, welcome, welcome. First, I want to say this. If you missed part one of our Reclaim and Unleash Your Rebel Soul workshop, no need to worry. The live has been saved. So go to my live section, watch the video. It was for about 50 minutes long, okay? So it was the right amount of time, okay? Now, part two is going to be next Wednesday, May 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern. I will post a reminder in the community section on this channel, okay? So that you can be there for the live session for next week, all right? Also, I want to tell you that there are several ways that you can work with me. I help you, achieve and sustain spiritual transformation, spiritual revolution in your life, all right? Through my Unleashed Alchemy Magic School, where you will have every single month, you'll have access to workshops where we talk about rituals, magic, manifestation, all right? How to handle the 3D, all right? When you are a cosmic being, how to be grounded, how to use your spiritual gifts, all right? How to identify them, okay? How to communicate with the people around you that don't quite get where you're coming from. They don't quite get your elevated consciousness, but that is okay because you can still be in community with those people. So we talk about all of that and more inside the Magic School. Every month we have live sessions that will either be live workshops or live Q&A. There's also the community section, all right, where you can meet other magicians, alchemists like yourself, all right, who have embraced the power that is in their soul, the power that is in themselves to go against the grain to live a soul-fulfilled life. All right, if you're looking for more one-on-one work and more one-on-one support, I provide a 90-day spiritual consulting package where even before the end of those 90 days, because see, let me tell you, it took me 20 years plus, all right, to get rid of programming, religious programming, so that I could get to my spiritual freedom. You don't have to wait 20 years plus, because I can get you there in 90 days or less, all right? So yes, this is a pitch, all right? That's what I do as having a spiritual business. I offer my services. So check out the 90-day spiritual consulting package if you are looking for more one-on-one support. The links for that package and also the Magic School will be in the description box of this video. Let's get into today's episode. Now, this is one of these episodes where I resisted, I hesitated talking about it. I can't really give you a real good reason why, other than I didn't want to talk about it. I just didn't. But it kept coming up. So what I've learned is that sometimes when things keep coming up, it is not for us to ignore. We have to stop and say, okay, wait a minute. You know, this keeps coming up. So let me not ignore it. Let me go within. Let me ask the great creator within, what am I to do with this, if anything? So I'm bringing you this video. Now, let's get into it. So we have read and heard about tragic stories. One, in particular that just happened with a young woman, her children, and her husband. And we've read about these tragic stories that have occurred in the lives of people, who call themselves spiritualists, readers, people who practice their spirituality outside of the grain of a traditional religion. I am one of those people, okay? Now, what I have noticed is that there are people who have attempted ignorantly to blame these tragedies, to blame the most recent tragedy on the fact that the individual chose to express their sovereignty and express their divinity outside of the normal route of a quote normal religion. And people have called these alternative practices as being all evil or demonic, okay? And what I want to say, one of the things that I want to say is this: people do tragic things and they find themselves in tragic situations. Governments even welcome tragedies in the name of religion. One in particular is happening right now. It's just exploded. It's actually been happening for over 7 decades, but it has exploded now, and we are watching this. We're seeing it happen in the name of religion. We can even go back as far as slavery. One of the million justifications on that list is religion. All right? So, to say that because a person is an astrologer, a tarot reader, a psychic, a medium, a necromancer, that is what has caused the tragedy, that is ignorant. It is also ignorant to lump all those spiritual avenues into an evil bucket. And people often do that when they don't know. They don't know. They only know what they have been given or what someone else has told them. 9 times out of 10, it's from their own programmed mind that is deeply rooted in religion. Okay? This is a fear tactic that people are attempting to use against people who are realizing that their oneness with true source, that their goddess self, that their God self, that their Christ consciousness, that their elevated consciousness has nothing to do with a religion. This is why the ancient Gnostics were frowned upon. This is why Yeshua was frowned upon. Now, Yeshua, whether you believe it was a real person, whether you believe it was a type of person or a group of people, Yeshua displayed, he was trying to tell people, this is the power that you have. What are you doing walking around like you don't have power, like you are powerless? And so Yeshua, the type of person or groups of people, they were trying to say, this is not about religion. The power is in you. You are a goddess. You are a god. So act like it, live like it, talk like it, walk like it, dress like it. The reason why that was an issue is because religion was based out of control. It was formed because someone or a group of people wanted to control the masses. And to look at these Gnostics, to look at people who had this elevated consciousness, who embraced their oneness with a great creator, that disrupted the intent and the agenda to control people. So I want to say this as well. Regardless of how you practice your spirituality, regardless of what that looks like to you, regardless of what you call yourself, we are cosmic beings, we are spiritual beings having these human experiences. So we are people who are still people with experiences that have induced fear, that have induced, these experiences have induced pain. These experiences have induced sadness. These experiences have induced self-sabotaging behavior. These experiences have induced ideas or not being able to decipher what's real. Not processing those emotions can lead to insane behavior, regardless of what you practice. So sometimes you can decipher if you see a message, whether it's on social media, or elsewhere, and you hear a franticness in the message, rather than there be some type of empowerment in the message. It's always going to come with, oh, you better hurry up and do this, or this is going to happen, or everything is crashing down. You got to do this, you got to do that. There's a lot of worriness. There's worry energy in that. So we have to review those messages. So whether you are the one reviewing or if you're the one saying or posting anything, you have to ask yourself, what is my intent with this message? What is the source of this message? Is this coming from my ego? Is this coming from fear? Is this coming from worry? Is it coming from my own perhaps sadness or frustration? We can all still be held captive by emotional traumas from our own experiences if they are not processed. Now, whether you choose to process them by yourself, through a therapist or with a therapist, someone who's neutral to your experiences, we have to realize that we're people with experiences. So just because, for example, with me, because I call myself a spiritual teacher, okay, that's nice. Because I call myself a high priestess, okay, that's nice. Because I call myself an alchemist, that's nice. But have I processed the emotions from my experiences so that I'm not spewing them out onto people that listen to me or enroll in the school, or people that I coach that enroll in my 90-day consulting package? So I wanted to give you that message and just remind you that there is a fear tactic that is being used by people who are ignorant to spiritual practices outside of the guise of religion. People are still way too ignorant. So you're going to see these, oh, that person did that or acted crazy because they're into that stuff. Do not allow fear become bigger than your soul. Do not allow fear become bigger than your soul-fulfilled life. Do not allow fear to become bigger than your spiritual transformation. Do not allow fear to become bigger than your spiritual elevation and evolution. All right. So I want to leave you with that message. Okay. Don't forget the part two of Reclaiming and Unleashing Your Rebel Soul. The live workshop on this YouTube channel will be May 15th. 7 p.m. Eastern. I will leave a reminder. Please check out the Unleashed Alchemy Magic School and check out how you can work one-on-one with me through my 90-day spiritual consulting package. All right. Thanks for listening. And until next time, cheers.